So as you guys know, I talk about a lot of dark topics on this channel, and with enough of that, it can lead to keeping me up at night. We all know how important sleep is, so before starting the video, I want to introduce how today's sponsor, Beam, has helped me out with their product, Dream. When I wake up without a good night's sleep, I feel awful and unmotivated, but Dream has helped me out with this, and with the New Year's right around the corner, I think it's time we all make a change. There's really no better time than now. My sleep schedule has been all over the place recently, so my New Year's resolution is to get that back on track with Dream. Dream is a delicious tasting blend that contains the highest quality sleep promoting ingredients. Not only is this stuff clinically shown to improve your sleep, but I've experienced it firsthand. One drink of this and it puts me to sleep and has me waking up feeling energized. And it's easy to make too. Just toss in a scoop of Dream with some hot water or milk and then stir. I prefer the CBD version of Dream, but they have a non-CBD version as well, and my favorite flavor is their cinnamon cocoa flavor. After just one night of using this, I was already feeling the benefits of getting proper sleep, like increased focus and improved mood. Out of everything I've tried before, nothing does as well as Dream does. While taking this, I've fallen asleep faster than ever, and I've always had zero grogginess the next day. And don't just take it from me. In a clinical study, 93% of participants reported that Dream helped them get a better night's sleep and wake up feeling more refreshed. To support the channel, click the link in the description, shopbeam.com/ScareTheater, or scan the QR code to get up to 40% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Discount is auto-applied at checkout. Now, back to the video.
For A gave its begotten country, so that everyone who believed in Jesus would perish and have eternal lose.
And dictators worship me, probably, or they rip.
I've got rigged. I got everything stolen from me.
From 2019 to 2022, a series of odd videos were uploaded to YouTube under the name BoozeTube Review.
What's up, boozers? See, booze. We have Southern Prohibition.
They featured an unkempt man doing a quote-unquote review of a particular beer. These reviews were nothing more than just a guy getting absolutely plastered on camera and going into drunken rants.
Little demonic creepazoids. We're gonna crawl up the trousers of Boy Scouts and piss in the cookies of Girl Scouts.
The content and upload frequency was so perplexing that this actually made its way to the Deep Into YouTube subreddit. As confusing and silly as this looks on the surface, I assure you the reality of how this all started is one of the darkest things I have ever seen. This is how BoozeTube Review came to be. The mind behind BoozeTube Review is a man from Tupelo, Mississippi named Terry Tyler.
Alright y'all, what's going on? My name is Terry Tyler here from Tupelo.
His channel, currently under the name of X, was created in 2013, but his first upload was in 2014. At this time, Terry was 25 years old, and his content was significantly different from what we know today. His main passion seemed to be focused on storm chasing, with these videos being nearly the only thing he uploaded for the first couple years of the channel. He even had a Twitter page called Mid-South Chasing. At a certain point, however, the storm chasing uploads slowly started to decrease in frequency, and Terry would start introducing new content. The newer stuff really highlighted how great of a guy Terry was. He was intelligent and passionate about certain topics. In 2015, he created an hour-long documentary called Tupelo's Tree Champion, where he talks about a historic tree that he believes may be the oldest tree in Tupelo, Mississippi.
That tree is possibly the oldest tree in town and nobody knows about it.
He put a great deal of effort into the whole thing, contacting a forestry professor from Mississippi State University and setting up a meeting with the Mississippi Forestry Commission to measure the tree. He also appeared to be a stand-up member of his community, doing a lot to try and improve the people around him. In 2016, he appeared in the local news when he attended a computer science convention where he spoke about the importance of teaching technology literacy to kids. He even made a video where he promoted the Faith Food Pantry and tried to persuade people to volunteer. One of his greatest goals, however, seemed to be entrepreneurship. This was something he talked about a lot on his channel, and he even appeared in the news again in 2017 when he attended an employability boot camp, where he said he hoped he would learn skills that would help him in business.
I'm hoping to gain some entrepreneurial knowledge and gain some personal skills that enable me to compete.
Terry did have a few attempted business ventures, but none of them ever seemed to really show any success. In 2015, he filed an LLC to start a company called Mid-South Media. The company's operation seemed to be through the documentaries Terry posted to his YouTube channel, as well as a website he created called stormnavigator.biz. He offered a few different services here, including advertising, storm chasing tours, and stock media services. Although this never saw any serious success, it seemed Terry was passionate about it. Based off these early videos, Terry just seemed like a normal guy. So it's hard to imagine how only a couple years later, he would end up doing what we know him for today. There were a couple of early warning signs, but even with these, I'd never have guessed what would have happened. In many of Terry's earlier videos, we could see him drinking beer at some parts. It always seems to just be a casual drink, and he never appears to be drunk, but knowing what we know now, it's interesting to point this out. We can infer that he likely did not have a healthy relationship with alcohol, given that in 2017, he uploaded over 20 hours of him reading the Alcoholics Anonymous book. In addition, he also read the Hazelden Meditations 24 Hours a Day book. This is a book about sobriety. He clearly struggled with addiction, and there's good reason to believe he at least experimented with other substances too. In 2018, he uploaded a video called How to Homebrew Ayahuasca.
I've taken the ayahuasca challenge.
I don't know how it goes, so
We're actually taking you from a layman to a shaman.
For anyone that doesn't know, ayahuasca is one of the world's most powerful psychedelics. It's a brew of plants and roots that contain DMT, and traditionally, it was used by indigenous cultures in South America. I think Terry making this video was incredibly irresponsible. Ayahuasca is some serious stuff. It's not your typical shrooms or acid trip. This stuff should not be taken lightly. I actually have some experience with this here. When I was 19 years old, I actually went to Peru for an ayahuasca retreat where we took this stuff with a shaman. And trust me, this is not the kind of thing anyone should be doing for fun, especially if they're with inexperienced people. So yeah, just a quick disclaimer, don't do this guys, or any other drugs for that matter. Luckily for Terry, this didn't actually work.
All right, lo and behold, I've drank about 3 cups of this stuff, and it's pretty much bull.
I could run you through the reasons why this didn't work, but that would take a minute and that's not really the focus of the video. So to make it as brief and simplified as possible, he didn't brew it properly and the roots he bought didn't actually contain the main psychedelic component of ayahuasca. I also want to strongly reiterate to not try this, and especially don't try it if you're on an SSRI medication. Ayahuasca contains something called an MAOI, and if you combine an SSRI with an MAOI, it could literally kill you. I'm not exaggerating. So let's make it simple and just don't do it. Anyway, there are no other videos of Terry using any other substances other than alcohol on his channel, so we can't really be sure if he was using other psychedelics or not. I don't know if he was hoping for some kind of spiritual experience out of this, or if he just wanted to get high, but he definitely did show other unconventional interests, particularly when he uploaded a video called Mississippi Nudist Society in 2019.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Can't think of another other way to go than being in the nude.
This was the video where his behavior seemed the strangest to me, at least before the whole BoozeTube review series started. The video is a vlog of him talking about some sort of nudist society meeting that's apparently taking place at a restaurant called Mugshots. It's confusing to follow since he doesn't really explain what is actually happening very clearly, and even when he talks to the hostess of the restaurant, she gets a little confused.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
One on the back.
On the back?
Yeah, where the burner is.
Oh, it's actually full at the moment.
Okay. Is that who's out there? Is it the nudists?
What?
Is it the nudists? Because I'm here with the nudist committee.
Oh, okay, no.
Okay. Well, let me get on up here.
He gets a little ranty at the end and it just feels disorganized.
Always stay intact. How you carry yourself, your image, it can be powerful. You're not born with it. Anybody can do it. I really think it's something that can be trained. And right now we're calling all the nudists, calling all the dogs. I didn't want to say it.
The description is even weirder, as he talks about how he can't even get into his Facebook account because it's been rigged. He then writes, "The best way to go is the nude. Do not let them crush your benefits of moonbathing, sunbathing, and esoteric metaphysicism." If this feels like it's super off track, trust me, it's not. I'm including this video for a very specific reason. This video and the context around it foreshadow future events that we will get to shortly. On September 20th, 2019, Terry uploaded a video that would change everything. BoozeTube Review 1.
Alright, we get this thing here.
This first review features him drinking a beer while working on his car. It's by no means professional, but I'd say it definitely comes off as a legitimate review. But at the end of the video, he says something very concerning.
I wanted to build this channel to do good things for people, and unfortunately there's a lot of things that just aren't that good. And if you're out there, you know, particularly if you're one of my kids, people that follows me, my mentees, you think about drinking that stuff because you'll lash out. I promise you this, unless you're really sharp, bring in the drinking, bring in a significant other, and just count down to a domestic violence. If you drink every single day, and your significant other drinks every day, and you're sitting there, the day is going to come where you may have an alcohol-induced freakout.
The next couple of reviews are all basically the same concepts, but in almost every early review he had, he always warned about the dangers of drinking.
You know, by the way, if you're under 21, don't drink. And if you don't drink, think about it, because it will can ruin your life. If you continue to drink, there's going to be a problem. If you don't drink, I don't recommend you do.
I think these videos started as a cry for help, and it's sad that he didn't get the help that he needed. A lot of these videos turn into a venting session. One that stands out is in his 5th review, where he vents about his frustration with classism and privilege.
No, they don't like that. They say, well, you're a bad boy. We'll just put you in the ward, or we'll put you in the jail cell, and we'll give all your work to our rich kids, you know, so we can step on all the poor kids, you know. That's the anthem in the corporate valley.
One of the most concerning things about these is that you could see he was making multiple of these per day. In a lot of these reviews, you can see he's clearly wearing the same clothing and is in the same location. I've counted up to at least 6 reviews that were clearly filmed the same day. As these videos go on, his mental state continues to get worse and worse until they're not even reviews anymore. It's just him getting drunk on camera while rambling about stuff. You can see just how intoxicated he is in review 20 when he downs this entire bottle in like 2 swigs. In review 40, he basically just admits that he has a problem and makes a very dark comment.
You know, roll over right out of the bed and just start popping top, just start drinking. First thing, like it's normal or something. I think it's normal. Some guys like coffee, some guys like tea. If I really had what I wanted, you know, I probably wouldn't be reaching for a beer, but we're not going to go there.
The description of this one just says, I'm running out of time. The description of a lot of these videos seems to be him talking about how bad he feels. It almost feels like his subconscious communicating through the video descriptions. He says things like, they effing hate me. Holy lowlife, serving America by not working, interacting, going to school, heading to prison or a crazy home. Love the beer and don't blame me. And they effed me over. And I'm not talking about the beer. Review 50 is one that really stuck out to me. You can see how intoxicated he is during this. He's slurring his speech and out of nowhere starts talking about this.
The good Lord spoke to me once in a dream, and he said 2 things. Don't hurt the women. And I don't know if it was the good Lord or if it was a nightmare, but I don't see how that can't be a bad thing. I mean, sometimes, but there's a lot of panic on that. You know, like they say, sometimes you gotta whip the horse's eyes and make him sleep. Anyway, let's get to the writing.
In review 100, he addresses the people who are worried about him. He says the people who watch him now don't understand how positive his old content used to be, but no one cared.
And they said, Tyler, why are you learning the kids to drink, you know? Why are you learning them devil worship? And I said, you haven't seen all the other great videos that I did. I'm still not able to get into a lot of the videos that I made. I taught business, I taught rocketry, I taught electrical engineering, I taught weather science. Nobody was interested in that.
This self-destructive behavior continues to get worse and worse until, at some point, Terry actually becomes homeless. It happened so abruptly that I couldn't even find the exact moment that it happened. He never really talked about it either. Just one minute he wasn't homeless and the next he was. The remaining videos feature him outside in the woods, under bridges, stuff like that. And there are certain points where Terry has a shocking amount of self-awareness that never seems to last too long. One of these moments appears in review 250.
I don't want to wreck your life. I live in a state of misery and I'm pulling myself up every day, and I want you to as well.
But aside from these small moments of clarity, he seemed to suffer from extreme delusions. Sometime after this video, he uploads another video that actually isn't a booze review, but just a general vlog. It's called Setting Yourself Free, and he says some weird stuff. He says he was writing a book, but stopped writing it because he thought someone was going to steal his idea.
I've been writing a book. I quit writing the book because I'm paranoid. I don't want it to get stolen. I haven't been able to get into my other book. And
the notion of having his genius ideas stolen is a theme that will show up a lot. He also tells us he is studying to become a doctor or physicist, but the stuff he's writing clearly isn't actual studying. We see more strange beliefs in review 300, where he talks about his experience with entrepreneurship. He seems to feel like he deserves a lot of success in life, but his current situation is due to people in the industry taking advantage of him and stealing his work.
I've been an entrepreneur for the longest time and I've been taken advantage of, and all of this stuff is hemmed up on the stealing of the intellectual property, and the rig up is dangerous. It's a global security.
In review 433, he gets extremely angry, seemingly out of nowhere, talking about how this country is rigged and he had everything stolen from him.
This whole country's rigged. It's rigged. Now, I'm not bitching, but I'm warning you, it's coming off the rails. I've got rigged. I got everything stolen from me.
This continues in review 450, where he goes on a strange rant about pissing off some high-up billionaire CEO that is now out to get him.
I pissed off some real high-level people, like about as high as it gets. Billionaires, trillionaires, CEOs. They handle things differently. Sometimes they'll kill you. Sometimes they don't even know you're there. They ignore you. They don't listen to you. And sometimes they punish you in a different kind of way. And
another surreal thing to witness was the way that Terry interacted with other people at this point. In review 500, he seemed to be wearing some piece of cardboard that has writing on it asking for money. In the middle of his video, a woman walks up to him and gives him money. He introduces himself as the booze review guy, seeming to expect her to know who he is, and he doesn't seem to understand any social cues at all.
howdy, ma'am. Thank you. My name's Terry Tyler. I do the BoozeTube reviews.
Okay.
You gotta come hang out sometime. I'm preparing a few little places around here.
Okay.
There's kind of there's a culture. I wouldn't say it's about homelessness, because I was scared to be homeless. I own land, I own a truck, but I fell on hard times. My vehicles broke down. I'm building myself back up, building my online business. But I think a lot of people, like yourself, some people may decide to try it. Sometimes it's like camping. People go out and camp just to explore and break outside of living in the 9-to-5 lifestyle.
Right.
But
Materialism
you got to watch out. So if you're the only one out there, it's nice to kind of have a network.
Right.
So I'm trying to construct a network. Yes, ma'am. Take it easy.
The next couple hundred videos, we see more of this going on, and at a certain point, even Terry starts to acknowledge the insane amount of damage he's doing to his body. In review 750, he's filming while on the toilet. At the start of the video, he says, "My kidneys are failing. I'm dying. I'm dying." He acknowledges his mortality again in review 756, when he writes in the description, "That's a dead man." We see more rants about government conspiracies and other stuff that I honestly can't really understand, and then we arrive to his final review, review 999. There's really nothing special about this one, it's just the same as the others, but it does serve as a tragic comparison to his older videos, to see how in a matter of only a few years, he went from this to this. After his last review, he uploaded 2 final videos. One was called Greek Alphabet Meditations, would just feature Greek letters appearing on screen while he sang. Alphabet. The last one is probably the most shocking thing on this channel. Remember earlier when I talked about his Nudist Society video and I said that I mentioned it for a reason? Well, this is the reason. The last video on this channel is called Nudist Revolution, Your Turn Jog. I can't show this on YouTube, but in the video, he strips completely naked and walks down the sidewalk and across the street where cars are driving by. He does all of this while ranting about culture and societal norms the whole time. This was the last video on Terry's YouTube channel, but his story did not end here. Unsurprisingly, following all of this, he had some run-ins with the law. I found an arrest record from December 1st, 2022, where Terry was arrested for failure to obey a law officer, open beer, and disturbing the peace. When he was released, I don't know exactly what happened, but I imagine he just continued with this behavior. After a long while, it would seem that Terry was never able to get help. On July 17th, 2023, he passed away. The obituary doesn't state the cause of death, but based on what we've seen, it's not difficult to make a good guess on what probably happened. It's tragic to see someone fall into such a dark path in real time like this. Of course, alcoholism played a role in Terry's downfall, but I think there's more to it than that. Based off his speech patterns, delusions, and just how bad all of this got, I suspect he probably had some other type of mental illness before all of this. His drinking was likely a symptom of the illness, which of course, in turn, made the illness way worse. It's so depressing to see what can happen to someone if they don't get the help they need. I feel like there needs to be a systematic change to prevent things like this from happening again. After Terry was arrested in 2022, why would they just let him go when he's clearly a danger to himself? Should it not be protocol for there to be government programs to treat and rehabilitate people like this? Terry was struggling with some really dark demons and most of us probably couldn't even imagine. He didn't ask for this. This is one of the first topics I've come across in a while where I actually teared up while going through everything. I wish something could have been done. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.